Uh, Sir, that's not a valid question.
Well, I think it is.
I don't
I
know
think
if
people.
I don't
I think
believe
people have a
I'm
right
going
to
be able to
know.
help you any further. I can give you the
Excuse me?
voicemail system now, or I can take your name and phone number and see if someone else is.
Well, you're making it pretty clear here that the only people who are going to talk to anybody who has questions is going to be a voicemail system. Is going to be a robot. So basically, anybody who has questions can direct it to the robot or not at all. Is that the kind of system that you've got set up there in the Federal Reserve Bank, Mr. Jeff?
Sir, I understand your frustration.
I don't have frustration. The
Your
American
message-
public has frustrations. I'm
or
calling
your
up with a
phone
few
number. At
questions
this point, I'm
that the
not
American
gonna help
public
you with
has,
that.
and indeed, I represent the American public who do have questions. I don't have questions personally, sir. I'm calling on behalf of the American public. And you can understand their frustration, because I get a lot of emails myself, personally, that I'm acting on right now to ask you guys what exactly is going on. And as far as I can tell, all you're doing is passing the buck. You're passing these questions on to somebody else. Is there somebody there who can answer me, Jeff? Or are you not able to do so? Can you identify yourself as a federal employee, sir, as you're supposed to under federal law?
Sir?
Can you identify yourself?
Now, sir?
Can you identify yourself, Jeff?
Sir, I'm sorry. Can I put you on hold, please? Thank you.
No, you're supposed to identify yourself.
Sir, sorry for the delay. I had to pick up a couple other ringing phones.
Uh-huh.
Would you like the comment line, sir? Because unfortunately, that's the best option we're able to provide at this point.
Is there nobody in the building of 3,000 employees that I could talk to?
Sir, unfortunately, as I explained now 2 or 3 times, this is the system that's set up. We're able to take your comments on the comment line, and that's unfortunately, and then we pass them on to the chairman's office.
So you're saying the answer to my question is no?
Sir, I'm explaining to you the system.
That was a question, Jeff.
When members, we're doing our best to help all the concerns and help members of the public. And
are you able to identify yourself as you're supposed to under federal law? Can you identify yourself, please? Can you identify yourself?
Sir, I already did at the beginning of this call.
You gave me your first name. As a federal employee, you're supposed to identify yourself at least with a union number under federal legislation.
I'm not aware of that legislation.
Oh, really? As a federal employee, you're not aware of your rights and obligations under federal law.
Sir, you're getting hostile, and I understand that you were hostile with one of my colleagues. So I'm putting you through to the voicemail system now. Please leave your information.
I'm asking a question. I'm not getting hostile. I'm asking a question.
Please leave a voice message for
Federal Reserve System.
You can't block me. I'm a gingerbread man. Oh, come on. Check.
Federal Reserve, I'm going to direct your call.
Yes, ma'am. Public Affairs, please.
Hello, you've reached the Public Affairs Office at the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Our normal business hours are 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So please leave your name, number, a brief message, and the time that you called, and we will return your call.
Good afternoon, Federal Reserve. Lola, how may I direct your call?
Yes, hello again, Lola. Jeff from Public Affairs said he was going to give me the number for the Treasury so I can actually get in touch with them with some questions about the bailout. However, he hung up when I asked him to identify himself. Interesting. We've got this on recording. Can I actually get through to Jeff again, if that's possible, ma'am?
Sure, I'll transfer you over. Hit option 3 for him, okay?
Well, in fact, last time I was transferred over, I went straight to his voicemail. It seems that they don't want to take any more calls.
Name?
Hello?
He give his last name?
No, he refused to identify himself, which is actually a federal crime under federal legislation.
Let me see which Jeff that may have been.
And I actually have that on recording, which is quite incredible.
I'm looking up the Jeffs that we have in that division.
Sure, ma'am.
See if I can find out which one it is.
I appreciate your help here, Lola.
believe it's a Jeff Smith that you spoke with.
Okay.
I'll transfer you back to his office. Hold on.
You've reached Jeff Smith in the Public Affairs Office at the Federal Reserve Board.
Services, Penny?
Yes, Penny. I was hoping to speak to Jeff Smith, but apparently he's out of the office right now. Is it possible to speak to somebody from Public Affairs?
One moment.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please leave a voice message for
Members of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System.
at the tone, please.
Good afternoon, Federal Reserve. Lola, how may I direct your call?
Yes, Lola, this is the 10th time I'm calling up now. Is it possible at all, in the realms of human experience, to talk to a human being there at Public Affairs?
Sure, hold on.
Really?
Hello, you have reached the Federal Reserve Board. For the most up-to-date Federal Reserve Board announcements and publications, please visit us on the web at www.federalreserve.gov. For hints on navigating the Federal Reserve Board's website, press 1. To leave a message for members of the board, including Chairman Ben Bernanke, press 2. To connect with the Federal Reserve Board's Public Affairs Office, press 3. Thank you for calling the Federal Reserve. Please hold for the Federal Reserve Board's Public Affairs Office.
Public Affairs.
Yes, ma'am. I was speaking to Jeff Hill, Mr. Jeff Smith, I believe, before, and when he said that he was not going to identify himself as per federal legislation requires, he suddenly hung up on me saying that I got hostile with him. Very interesting. He was going to give me the number for the Treasury, however, to redirect my questions to them. Do you have that number there, or are you going to put me through to a voicemail message?
Yes, one moment.
I beg your pardon?
The number is 202-622-2000.
Are you actually a federal employee there, ma'am?
Yes,
Can you identify yourself, please?
Cecilia Bradshaw.
Thank you very much for your help, and indeed, I shall be making a note of how many times you have hung up on me and put me through to an automated message when I've asked to speak to a human being. Do you know, you really done America a disservice. Well, let's face it, what else did I expect? Yes, indeed. Did I actually get any answers? Well, no, I didn't. But I did do one thing. I exposed their bureaucracy of bullshit. I exposed their system of going around in circles. For anybody who has a straightforward question, they always seem to get a runaround. You can make 10 calls, you can make a dozen calls, and still not get any information at all. Now, was I rude to these people? Was I hostile? A little bit persistent, maybe. A little bit of a pain in the ass. I'd agree there. But I definitely maintained my decorum, my manners, as much as I could, in the face of this kind of treatment. And this is why the government is allowed to get away with this kind of stealing of the public taxpayers' money. They can get away with it because nobody, just nobody, is asking any questions. Now, if you live in the United States and you'd like to make this kind of phone call, please do so. Make a video, upload it to YouTube, and add it to a video response. It'd be great to hear everybody else's calls. But coming up very, very soon, I'm going to do an expose on the recent banning and the recent suspension done by YouTube. The sabotage. They've been sabotaging people's accounts. I'm going to get a hold of YouTube and ask them a few questions of my own. Stay tuned for that one. Subscribe in the box right there to your right. Well, that's all for me for now. It's Steve Johnson saying thanks very much. You take care. Ciao for now. And of course, as always, God bless.